If you want to fight climate change, what can you do? Well, you can use less electricity or stop driving. But scientists believe there's another big which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what you eat. We are talking about meat here. If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 13%. That's according to research from Oxford University. Now, emissions are the gases produced by an activity or living thing. So we could talk about factory emissions or farming emissions. And if you eat more meat or animal products, you will become vegan. More and more people around the world are going vegan. And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A. Brad Pitt, B. Jennifer Lopez, or C. Miley Cyrus? And I'm going to go for C. Miley Cyrus. Well, why don't we find out a bit more about exactly what it means to be vegan? Here's some rule from the Vegan Society in the UK. Veganism is a way of living which is as far as is possible and practicable, along with exploitation or cruelty to animals, and any purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals, and we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in day and age, so it may never be easier to be vegan. Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is quite simple, but that doesn't just mean food. If you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals and shoes. But he feels like it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and uses a nice phrase, in this day and age. Yes, in these days or in the present time. It's often used to highlight the contrast with the previous side. So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral interests. So if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products. Of course, some environmental considerations as well as rearing livestock, that means animals like cows, produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Livestock, that means animals like cows produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of heat in their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism, now that's a ground for a vegan diet. It's because they believe it's healthy. In the research from the scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because of no healthy red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure will be because of no healthy red meat, and the other half, now that's human deaths. They claim that half of these people will be because they don't want meat. This figure will be because we don't go eat meat. Other half will be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. And they say the other half will be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. And the other half will be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. And they say that the world economic impact too. And they say that the world economic impact too. And they say that the world economic impact too. And they say that this will have economic impact too. They say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and productivity of work, because fewer people would get sick. So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved to reduce healthcare costs and increase productivity at work. So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan? They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved to reduce healthcare costs and increase productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved to reduce healthcare costs and increase productivity at work. Because fewer people would get sick. So if it's all so simple, because fewer people would get sick. So if it's all because fewer people would get sick. So if it's because fewer people would get sick. So let's all so simple. Why don't we go vegan tomorrow? Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to binge. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. So these grows over years. Now ways of to third content is going to mean angry, which means dry and unable to support crops. So these jobs will fail. Now vision of those content is going to be rising, which means dry and unable to support crops. So these jobs will be clear. Now some like change in average, which means dry and unable to suggest crops. So these jobs will be set. Now, which is the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops. People living in these regions. So these jobs would be disappear. Now, which are the a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops. So people, for example, so these jobs will be disappear. Now, without to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops. So these jobs will disappear. Now, without to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops. That's where they move. So these jobs will be disappear. Now, without to a third planet to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops. People living in these regions rely on livestock. So people, for example, like the Berbers in the Sahara region, without animal farming before to be abandoned traditional. That's where they move from place to. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. And for many people, without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place and settle in. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place. Where they move from. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional lifestyles. That's where they move from. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place. Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place. Where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from people place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy. We asked you about well-known vegans. And for many people, they just like eating meat and dairy. We asked you about well-known vegans. Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus? And I said it was Miley Cyrus. Well, you're kind of half right. We asked you about well-known vegans. Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus? And I said it was Miley Cyrus. Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Right. Jennifer Lopez. Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating vegan apparently.
Now, why don't we wrap up by...
Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and... Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan.
Jennifer Lopez used to be, and Hussein started eating meat again, apparently. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but he started eating meat again.
Why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary?
Now, why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity such as digestion. Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a... Now, why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
We started with
emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as
livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that...
Where we start with emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions, for example, are
where we study with emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions, for example, are
where we study with emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions,
where we study with emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions, for example,
are gases produced by animals.
We can also...
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also...
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions. We can also add a word that describes a kind of emission
or greenhouse
emissions.
Next up, we
can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age, which means
we can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we
can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age,
which means these days.
I still can't believe.
Next up, we have in this day and age,
which means these days. I still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age.
Well,
maybe I just judge smartphone for ethical reasons.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the workers and the...
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones. Moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's...
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me...
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
Got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the noun.
That's right. So, 2 more words to go. We have and livestock. Arid describes land that is too dry. That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you? Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you? Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I...
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the...
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the noun.
That's right. So, 2 more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid describes land that is too dry to support any crops or plants.
but arid regions can sometimes support livestock.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But
for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where a smartphone is made.
For me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
For me, it's important to understand the conditions of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made. That's fair enough. That's fair enough then. Why haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons?
I admire veganism.
That's fair enough then. Why haven't become vegan that is on the same
You got me.
Let's
I
fair
admire
enough then.
veganism.
Let's fair enough then. You haven't become vegan yet.
You got me.
Let's fair enough then. But you haven't become vegan yet for ethical.
You got me there.
Let's fair enough then. But you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons. Are you?
You got me
You
there.
are
I admire
done
veganism.
I admire veganism, but I still like choose too much to do it.
Veganism.
Veganism is a no.
That's right.
That's right.
So two more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid describes land that is too dry to support many.
That's right.
So two more words to go. We have arid and livestock.
That's right. So two more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid describes land
that is too dry. Arid describes land that is too dry.
Arid describes land that is too dry to support many crops or plants.
But arid regions can
But
sometimes
arid-
support livestock.
But arid region can sometimes support livestock. Livestock means farm animals.
If you think
If
of
you think of the stock as being in the
business, then animals are living or alive. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then
asset
animals are living
of the
or
business.
livestock.
And that
Animals
brings us
are
to the
living
end
or
of
livestock.
today's program.
If
If
you
the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a species, then animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then the animals are living or livestock.
Let us know what
If you think of the stock as being the animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, the animals are living or livestock. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, the animals are living or livestock. And that brings us to the end of the today's program.
Join us on our Facebook, Twitter,
And that brings us to the end of today's program.
Join us on our
And that brings us to the end of the program.
Join us on our
And that brings us to the end of today's program.
Join us on our
And that brings us to the end of today's program.
Join us on our
And that brings us to the end of today's program. Join us on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube page for us more. Let us know what you think of veganism. Bye for now. Bye.
6 Minutes English from BBC Learning English. This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out, visit our website. 6 Minutes English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome
Welcome
to
to
6
6 Minute
Minutes
English,
English,
the
the program
where
where
we
we
bring you
bring you
interesting topic
topic
and
and
sexy items of
vocabulary.
vocabulary. I'm Neil and I'm Catherine. Now, if you want to fight climate change or you can use less electricity, well, you can use less electricity or start driving, but scientists believe there's another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what
We're
you
talking
eat.
about meat here.
But scientists believe there's another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what you eat.
We're talking
But scientists believe there's another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what you eat. We are talking about meat here. If we cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by
according to research from Oxford
People cut out many animal products for their diets. Emissions have been reduced by 70%, according to research from Oxford University. Emissions are the gases produced by activity or living thing. So we could talk about factory emissions or farming emissions. If you eat more meat or animal products, you are what we call vegan. More and more, if you eat no meat or animal products, you are what we call vegan. And if you eat no meat or animal products, you are what we call vegan. More and more people around the world are going vegan. And today's question, which of these celebrate?
Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Jennifer Lopez, or C, Miley Cyrus?
I'm going to go for celebrities.
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 Program. Now,
Celebrities.
we go much
Celebrities.
further, why don't we find
Celebrities.
out
Celebrities.
exactly what it means
Celebrities.
to be a vegan?
Celebrities.
Here's Tom Cooner from the
And today's question, which of these celebrities is
Celebrities.
vegan? Is
Celebrities.
it A, Brad?
And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan?
Is it A, Brad Pitt?
And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan?
Is it A, Brad?
And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Jennifer Lopez, or C, Miley Cyrus? And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad Pitt, or B, Jennifer Lopez, or C, Miley Cyrus? And I'm going to go for C, Miley Cyrus. Well, we'll find out at the end of the program. Before we go much further, why don't we find out a bit more about exactly what it means to be vegan? Here's a comment from the Vegan Society in the UK. Veganism is a way of living which includes as far as possible and practicable avoidance or exploitation or cruelty to animals.
Food, clothing, or any
Veganism is a way of living which includes as far as possible and practicable avoidance or exploitation.
So that's for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals. And we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age.
Veganism is a way of living which includes as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals.
So that's for food, clothing.
Veganism is a way of living which includes as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals.
So that's for food.
Veganism is a way of living which includes as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals, just for good origin or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals.
And we feel like
so let's for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals. And we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's normal, being easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that
and we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age.
Of course, he says,
and we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan. And we feel like there are plenty of alternatives.
If you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan. And he uses a nice phrase,
alternatives in this day and age.
Yes,
it's never been easier to be vegan.
And we feel
like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. Alternatives, it never been.
Of course, he says,
and we feel like there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan. Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about. But
if you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase.
Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about. But doesn't just mean food. Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about. But doesn't just mean food. Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about. But that doesn't just mean food. If you're true vegan, then clothing for animals is also helped. No more leather shoes.
But he feels
If you're a true vegan, then clothing for animals is all out. No more leather shoes.
but he
If you're a true vegan, then clothing for animals is also out. No more leather shoes. But he feels like it's easier than ever before to become vegan and uses a nice phrase, in this day and age.
Yes, it means
These
these days
days.
or in the present time. It is often, yes,
Yes, it is these days or in the present time, and it's often used to highlight a contrast with the previous time. So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs.
So if you become vegan for
So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful way to use
relating
SAT
moral
to
beliefs. So if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or
No.
use
for ethical reasons.
Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs.
Yes.
So, if you become vegan for ethical reasons,
So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs. So if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products. Others go vegan because of environmental considerations.
Rearing livestock, that means animals, like others
And
go
so
vegan
vegans
because of environmental considerations.
as we look at earlier.
Rearing
Rearing
livestock,
sex
that means
means
animals like
animals,
cows and pigs,
cows, and pigs
produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism
now that's now for a vegan diet,
is because they believe it's healthier.
in the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
Now, that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to healthcare costs and increasing productivity at work, because fewer people would get sick.
So, if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow?
Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change.
And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living.
So these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which is dry and unable to support crops, people living in these regions rely on livestock. So people, for example, like the Berbers in the Sahara region.
Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities.
And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you about well-known vegans. Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus?
And I said it was Miley Cyrus.
Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again, apparently.
Now, why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity, such as digestion. Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age, which means these days.
I still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age, Neil.
Well, maybe I just object to smartphones for ethical reasons.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones.
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand workers in the factory where...
And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you...
In the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found that 8 million...
Yes, it means these days, or in the present time. If
If
you're a true vegan,
then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes. But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan and uses a nice phrase, in this day and age.
Yes,
Yes, it means these days or in the present time. And it's often used to highlight a contrast with the previous time. So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs. So if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products. Others go vegan because of environmental considerations. As we looked at earlier, rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs, produce a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies.
The other major reason to choose veganism.
Now, let's just say that animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies.
The other major reason.
Now, let's just say that animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies.
The other major reason to choose veganism. The other major reason to choose veganism. The other major reason to choose veganism.
Veganism, now less known for the vegan diet.
Is because they believe.
Veganism, now less known for a vegan diet.
Is because they.
Veganism, now less known for a vegan diet.
Is because
they believe it's healthier. In the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found that $8 million per year would be wealthy if the world went vegan.
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer.
Scientists found that $8 million per year would be wealthy if the world going vegan.
Now that's human deaths.
Scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world going vegan. As human deaths, they claim that half of this figure will be because we no longer eat red meat. Now let's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure will be because we no longer eat red meat.
Other half would be due to eating. Now that's human deaths.
They claim that half of this figure will be because we no longer eat red meat.
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people
And they
being
say that this would have an
overweight.
economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would.
Now that's human deaths.
They claim that half of this figure will be because we no longer eat red meat.
And the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables.
And
The other
another
half
half
would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables,
as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too. They
And the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And
And
they say that this would have an economic impact too.
This have an
They suggest
economic
that up to
impact too.
$1,000 billion a year.
And they say that
this would
this will have an
economic impact
economic
too.
impact
They
in
suggest that up to
economic
$1,000 billion
impact
a
too.
year would be saved.
And they say that
this would
it
have
will
an
be have
economic
an
impact
economic
too.
impact.
They suggest that up to
Economic
$1,000
impact
billion
too.
a year would be saved due to.
And they say that this
would
will have an economic impact too.
They
They suggest that
up
up to $1,000 billion
a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work because fewer.
and
They
they suggest
suggest
that
that
up to $1,000 billion a year will be saved due to reduce
healthcare costs
healthcare and
increased
costs
productivity at work
and
because
increase
fewer people will get sick.
So if it's all so
productivity
simple,
at
why
work.
don't we all go vegan?
They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year will be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work.
Because fewer people will get sick.
Because fewer people
So if it's all so
get sick.
simple, why don't we all go?
Because fewer people
will get sick.
will get
So
sick.
if it's all so
Because fewer people will get sick.
so
So
if it's all
people,
so
there is
simple,
someone
why
why
don't we
don't
all
we
go
go
vegan
vegan
tomorrow?
tomorrow?
Well,
Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures.
Not
Not
everyone
everyone
wants
wants
to
to
change.
change.
And millions of people
And millions of people
worldwide raise
worldwide
livestock for a living.
livestock for a living.
So these
These
jobs
jobs
would
will
disappear.
disappear. Now,
with
without to a
third of
third
the planet
China need
estimated
estimated
to
to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops.
People living. So these
These
jobs
jobs
would
will
disappear.
disappear. Now, without to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops.
People.
So these jobs will disappear. Now, without to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops.
People
People
living in
in
these
these
regions
regions
rely
thrive
on
on
livestock.
sun.
So
So people, for example,
like
live
the
in
Berbers
in the
Sahara
Sahara
region.
region.
Without
Without
animal
animal
farming,
farming,
they
they
would
would
be
be
forced
forced
to
to
abandon
abandon
traditional
traditional
nomadic lifestyle.
nomadic
That's where they move from
lifestyles.
place to place. Without
Without
animal
animal
farming,
farming,
they
they
would
would
be
be
forced to
forced to
abandon traditional nomadic
abandon
lifestyle.
traditional
That's where they
nomadic
move from place to place
lifestyles.
and settle in. Without
Without
animal
animal
farming,
farming,
they'd
they
be
would be
forced
forced
to
to
abandon traditional nomadic
abandon
lifestyle.
traditional
That's where they move
nomadic
from place to place and
lifestyles.
settle in.
Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyle.
That's where they move
That's
from place to place
where
and
they
settle
move
in
from
cities.
place to place
And
and
for many
settle
people,
in
well,
cities.
they just like eating meat and dairy.
And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you
And
about
dairy.
well-known vegan.
We
asked you about well-known
well-known
vegans.
vegans. Which of these is vegan?
Brad
A.
Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus?
And I said it was Miley Cyrus.
Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact,
Well,
you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again.
Now why don't we wrap up by
Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again.
Now why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time? Now why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity.
When we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a
When we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity such as digestion.
Livestock emissions,
When we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity such as digestion.
Livestock
Livestock
emissions,
emissions,
for
for
example,
example,
are
are
gases
gases
produced
produced
by
by
animals.
animals.
We can also add
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
we can
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
we
We
can
can also add a word like
that describes the kind
that
of emission,
describes.
like methane.
We can also add a word like describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day.
We
We
can
can also add a word like
that describes
describes a kind of
emissions,
emissions,
like
like
methane
methane
emissions
emissions
or
or
greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had
Like
in this
this
day and
one.
age, which means these days. Next
Next
up, we had in this day and age,
which means these days.
I still can't believe
Next
Next
up, we had in this day and age,
which means these days.
Next
Now
up, we had in this day and
你要
age,
睡觉了
which means these
these
days.
days.
I
Okay.
still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age, Neil. That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the noun.
That's right. So 2 more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid describes land that is too dry to support many crops or plants.
But arid regions can sometimes support livestock. Livestock means farm animals. If you think of the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock.
And that brings us to the end of today's program. Join us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages for lots more. Let us know what you think of veganism.
Bye for now.
Bye.
6 Minutes English from BBC Learning English.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
6 Minutes English
from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English, the program where we bring you an interesting topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil.
And I'm Catherine.
Now, if you want to fight climate change, what can you do? Well, you can use electricity or stop driving.
But scientists believe there is another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what you eat.
We're talking about meat here. If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. That's according to research from Oxford University.
Now, emissions are the gases produced by an activity or living thing. So we could talk about factory emissions or farm emissions.
If you eat no meat or animal products, you're what we call vegan. More and more people around the world are going vegan. And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? A. Brad Pitt, B. Jennifer Lopez, or C. Miley Cyrus?
Or C. Miley Cyrus.
Well, we'll find out at the end of the program. Now, before we go much further, why don't we find out a bit more about exactly what it means to be a vegan?
Here's Tom Kuno from the Vegan Society in the UK.
Veganism is a way of living which excludes, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals. So that's for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals. And we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about. That doesn't just mean food. If you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase, in this day and age.
Yes, it means these days, or in the present time. It's often used to highlight a contrast with the previous time.
So, many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs. So, if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products.
Others go vegan because of environmental considerations, as we looked at earlier. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs, produces a lot of harmful nutrients. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism
Now that's the noun for a vegan diet.
is because they believe it's healthier.
In the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
Now, that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity of work, because fewer people would get sick.
So, if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow?
Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change.
And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living.
So these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, people living in these regions rely on livestock. So people, for example, like the Berbers in the Sahara region.
Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities.
And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you about well-known vegans. Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus?
And I said it was Miley Cyrus.
Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again, apparently.
Now, why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity, such as digestion. Livestock, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that describes the kind of emission, like methane emission or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age, which means these days.
I still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age, Neil.
Well, maybe I just object to smartphones for ethical reasons.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones?
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphones are.
That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the noun.
That's right. So, 2 more words to go.
That's where they move from place to place and settle.
They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity of work, because fewer people would get sick.
So, if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow?
They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity of work, because fewer people would get sick.
And
they say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increase productivity of work.
This
They
suggests
suggest
that
that
up to
up to
$1 billion
$1,000
a year would be saved due to reduced
healthcare
healthcare costs and
and
increased
increase productivity of work because fewer people would get sick.
So if it's all so simple,
because fewer people would get sick.
so if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow?
Well, meat eating is an important part of most countries. Not
Many
everyone
want
wants
to
to
get
change.
it.
Millions
And
of
people
people worldwide raise livestock for a living.
living.
So
So
these
let's
jobs
work
will
hard
disappear.
together.
Now,
Now we
with up
start
to
to
a third
third
of
of
the
the
planet
planet
estimated
estimated
to
to
be
be
arid,
arid, which means dry and unable to support crops.
People living in these regions rely on livestock. So people, for example, like the Berbers in the Sahara region.
Without animal farming, they would be able to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles.
That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities.
And for many people, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you about well-known vegans.
Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus?
And I said it was Miley Cyrus.
Well, you're
got
half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are.
vegan.
Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started
started.
Now why don't
Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again, apparently.
we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one?
Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again, apparently.
Now why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or activity such as digestion. Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age.
We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age, which means these days.
I still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age, Neil.
Well, maybe I just object to smartphones for ethical reasons.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones?
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones?
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers at the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers at the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the nap. Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But
for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the now.
So, two more words to go. We have
you got me. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the now.
That's right. So, two more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid. That's right. So, two more words to go. We have arid and livestock.
Arid describes land that is too dry to support many crops or plants.
But arid regions can sometimes support livestock.
Livestock means farm animals.
If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock.
And that brings,
if you think of the stock as living as these assets of a business, animals are living or livestock.
And that brings us,
if you think of the stock as being the assets of a business or animals are living or livestock.
And that brings us,
if you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock.
And that brings,
if you think of the stock
as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock.
And that brings us to the end of today's program.
And that brings us to the end of today's program.
Join us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages for lots more. Let us know what you think of veganism.
Bye for now.
Bye.
6 Minute English.
From BBC Learning English.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
6 Minute English.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English, the program where we bring you an interesting topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil.
And I'm Catherine.
Now, if you want to fight climate change, what can you do?
Well, you can use less electricity,
Or stop driving.
but fight.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
6 Minute English.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English, the program where we bring you an interesting topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil.
And I'm Catherine.
Now, if you want to fight climate change, what can you do?
Well, you can use less electricity,
Or stop driving.
but scientists believe there's another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is what you eat.
Even.
But scientists believe there's another behavior which has an even bigger impact on the planet, and that is
what you eat.
We're talking about meat here.
here.
If people cut out
When
meat
people cut
and
out
animal products from their
animal
diets,
or animal
harmful emissions could
diets.
be reduced by 70%. We're talking about meat here.
Meat here.
If people cut out meat
meat
and
and
animal
animals
products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced. We're talking if people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. That's according to research
That's
from
according
Oxford
to research.
University.
Now, emissions are the gases produced by an activity.
If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. If people cut out meat and animal products from their diets, harmful emissions could be reduced by 70%. That's according to research from Oxford University.
Now, emissions are the gas.
That's according to research from Oxford University.
Now, emissions are the gases produced by an activity or living thing. So we can talk about factory emissions or farming emissions.
And if you eat no meat or animal products, you're what we call vegan. More and more people around the world are going vegan. And today's question, which of these celebrities is? And if you eat no meat or animal products, you're what we call vegan. More and more people around. And if you eat no meat or animal products, you're what we call vegan. More and more people around the world are going vegan. And today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Jennifer Lopez? More and more people. Today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad Pitt? More and more people. Today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad? More and more people. Today's question, which of these celebrities is vegan? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Jennifer Lopez, or C, Miley Cyrus?
And I'm going to go for C, Miley Cyrus.
Well, we'll find out at the end of the program. Now, before we go much further, why don't we find out a bit more about exactly what it means to be a vegan?
Here's Tom Kuhnel from the Vegan Society in the UK.
Now, before we go much further, why don't we find out a bit more about exactly what it means to be a vegan?
Here's Tom Kuhnel from the Vegan Society in the UK.
Veganism is a way of living which excludes, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals. So that's for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals, and we feel like that, there are, so that's for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So we just don't want to use or abuse animals, and we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives and
easier.
And we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that.
And we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty.
And we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that.
And we feel like that, there are plenty of alternatives in this day and age. It's never been easier to be vegan.
Of course, he says that avoiding cruelty to animals is what it's all about, but that doesn't just mean food. If you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that
if you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses an.
If you're a true vegan, then clothing from animals is also out. No more leather shoes.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice.
If you're a true.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase, in this day and age.
Yes, it means these days, or in the present time. It's often used.
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase,
Is
in
easier than
this
ever
day and
before.
age.
Yes, it means these days
Vegan.
or in the present time. It is often used.
But
And
he feels that
it's
it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase, in this.
If you're a true vegan,
But he feels that it's easier than ever before to become vegan, and he uses a nice phrase, in this day and age.
yes, it means these days or in the present time. It is often used to highlight a contrast with a previous time.
So many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs. So, if you become vegan many people go vegan for ethical reasons. Now, ethical is a useful word. It means relating to moral beliefs. So, if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products.
Others go vegan because of environment.
So, if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products.
Others go vegan because of environmental considerations, as we looked at earlier. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs. Others go vegan because of environmental considerations, as we looked at earlier. Rearing livestock, that means others go vegan because of environmental considerations, as we looked at earlier. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs, produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism, now that's the noun. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and
So, if you become vegan for ethical reasons, you do it because you think it's wrong to eat or use animal products.
Others go vegan because of environmental considerations, as we looked at earlier. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs, produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason, now let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism, now that's the noun for a vegan. Rearing livestock, that means animals like cows and pigs, produces a lot of harmful methane gas. Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism, the other major reason to choose veganism, now that's the noun for a vegan diet, is because they believe it's healthier. In the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found... Now, let's just say the animals themselves produce a lot of it from their bodies. The other major reason to choose veganism, now... The other major reason to choose veganism, now that's the noun for a vegan diet, is because they believe it. Now that's the noun for a vegan diet, is because they believe it's healthier. In the research from Oxford University we mentioned,
It's because they believe it's healthier.
In the research from Oxford University
It's because they believe it's healthier.
In the research from Oxford University we mentioned earlier, scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of
Scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
Now that's human deaths. They claim
Scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure.
Scientists found that 8
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables.
scientists found that 8 million deaths per year could be avoided if the world went vegan.
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people.
Fewer vegetables.
Being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as few. Now that's
Red.
human deaths. They claim that half of.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables. Now that's human deaths. They claim that half of this figure would be because we no longer eat red meat, and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people. Now that's
Eat.
and the other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic.
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too.
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
and
The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight. The other half would be due to eating more healthy fruit and vegetables, as well as fewer people being overweight.
And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. And they say that this would have an economic impact too. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to $1,000 billion a year would be saved due to reduced healthcare costs and increased productivity at work. They suggest that up to 1,000 because fewer people will get sick. 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 Because fewer people will get sick.
So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow? So if it's all so simple, why don't we all go vegan tomorrow?
Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change. Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change. Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change. Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change. Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change. Well, meat eating is an important part of most cultures. Not everyone wants to change.
And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living. And millions of people worldwide raise livestock for a living.
So these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, So these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, so these jobs would disappear. Now, with up to a third of the planet estimated to be arid, which means dry and unable to support crops, people living in these regions rely on livestock. So people, for example, like the Berbers in the Sahara region.
Without animal farming, they'd be forced to abandon traditional nomadic lifestyles. That's where they move from place to place and settle in cities.
And for many people, well, they just like eating meat and dairy.
We asked you about well-known vegans. Which of these is vegan? Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lopez, or Miley Cyrus?
And I said it was Miley Cyrus.
Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since... Well, you're kind of half right, Catherine. In fact, both Brad Pitt and Miley Cyrus are vegan. Jennifer Lopez used to be, but has since started eating meat again, apparently.
Now, why don't we wrap up by looking at today's vocabulary one more time?
Well, we started with emissions, gases produced by something or an activity such as digestion. Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add
Livestock emissions, for example, are gases produced by animals.
We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane kind. We can also add a word that describes a kind of emissions, like methane emissions or greenhouse gas emissions.
Next up, we had in this day and age, which means these days.
I still can't believe you don't have a smartphone in this day and age, Neil.
Well, maybe I just object to smartphones for ethical reasons.
Oh, so you've got moral objections to smartphones?
Yeah, for me, it's important to understand the condition of the workers in the factory where the smartphone is made.
That's fair enough then. But Neil, you haven't become vegan yet for ethical reasons, have you?
You got me there. I admire veganism, but I still like cheese too much to do it. Veganism is the noun.
That's right. So, 2 more words to go. We have arid and livestock. Arid describes land that is too dry to support many crops or plants.
But arid regions can sometimes support livestock. Livestock means
Arid describes land that is too dry to support many crops or plants.
but arid regions can sometimes support livestock. Livestock means farm animals. If you think of the stock as being the assets of a business, then animals are living or livestock.
And that brings us to the end of today's program. Join us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that brings us to the end of today's program. Join us on our Facebook, and that brings us to the end of today's program. Join us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages for lots more. Let us know what you think of veganism.
Bye for now.
Bye.
6 minutes English.
From BBC Learning English.
This is 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minutes English from BBC Learning English. I'm Rosie and with me today is Rob.
Hello there.
In this programme, we take a look at an interesting story from this week's news.
And we teach some useful vocabulary while we're doing it.
This week's story is about racing animals. Everyone will be familiar with horse racing, but can you think of any other animals that you can race?
Well, I know that some people race greyhounds, that's a particular breed of dog. Well, my granddad used to race pigeons.
Did he? Well, the animal we're talking about today is a lot slower than dogs or pigeons. Today we're talking about snails.
Snails, as in the slimy creatures with the shell that live in the garden?
Yes, exactly. But before we delve into this weird sport, it's customary in 6 Minutes English for me to ask you a quiz question.
Yes, it is. So, is this one going to be about snails then?
Of course it is. The giant African snail is the biggest snail in the world. But how big can it grow? Is it A, 18 centimeters long, B, 36 centimeters long, or C, 48 centimeters long?
Well, I wouldn't like to come across any of those in my back garden, but I'll say B, 36 centimeters long.
Well, as ever, we'll find out if you're right or wrong